All right, so in this video, we want to talk a little bit about what the equations of lines look like in the polar plane. And the first equation we want to talk about is where theta equals 0, where theta equals 0. Well, theta equals 0 along this line. Any point that lies along theta equals 0 will lie on this line. This would be all the points with a positive r along theta equals 0. And then also these points. These points would be points that have negative r's that also lie along the point, or lie along the line where theta equals 0. So the equation theta equals 0 is just a horizontal line along the x-axis. And theta equals 0 corresponds to y equals 0 in the rectangular plane. The next equation we want to talk about is theta equals pi over 2. Theta equals pi over 2. And along the same lines of thinking, theta equals pi over 2 will graph a vertical line on the y-axis. A vertical line on the y-axis. And the equation theta equals pi over 2 is the same as the equation x equals 0 in the rectangular plane. The next equation we need to be familiar with are equations of the form r equals a over sine theta. Anytime we see an equation of the form r equals a, where a is just a constant, r equals a over sine theta will always graph a horizontal line. That equation of that horizontal line will always be in rectangular form, y equals whatever the constant a is. So if we have r equals 2 over sine theta, then that would be a horizontal line with a y-intercept of 2. And the equation of that line would be y equals 2. Or if we see something like r equals negative 5 over sine theta, well, that would be a horizontal line going through negative 5 on the y-axis. And the equation in rectangular form would be y equals negative 5. Now we're going to skip over here to this last one because it's similar to the one we just talked about, where we have r equals a over cosine theta. Well, this one is kind of similar to the last one, where r was equal to a over sine theta. But whenever we see equations of the form r equals a over cosine theta, that's going to graph a vertical line. And the equation of that vertical line will always be in rectangular form, x equals a. So whatever the numerator is up here, that's where the graph of our vertical line will pass through the x-axis. And then the last equation we want to talk about is theta equals a. Theta equals a. So theta is equal to some angle measurement, like pi over 4, pi over 3, or 5 pi over 6. Anytime we have an equation theta equals an angle measure or theta equals a, that will always be a line going through the origin or the pole. And every point on that line will lie on a ray that is coterminal with the theta that we're given, or 90 degrees away from the ray that we're given. So if we're given something like theta equals pi over 4, then that line is every point that lies along the terminal ray of an angle of pi over 4, and every point that lies on the ray opposite pi over 4. So every point that lies on the ray pi over 4 plus 4 pi over 4, which would be every point that lies on 5 pi over 4. But in general, anytime we have theta equals some number or some angle, then that is a line going through the origin.